Chromospace is an OFX plugin for DaVinci Resolve that lets you inspect color data in 3 dimensions. It gives colorists a clear, easily navigable view of the space their images and operations occupy, so changes that are usually inferred can be examined directly. Chromospace includes 8 color models, each with a different way of organizing color data. These different geometries make different attributes easier to inspect depending on the task. From the familiar RGB cube to cylindrical models like HSL and HSV to spherical spaces such as Chen, norm cone, GP conical, and Rollo. It also includes a 3-dimensional chromaticity view. Each view offers a different way to read relationships within the data. No single model tells the whole story. The data does not change, but the way it is organized does, and that affects what becomes easy to see. In an RGB cube, some relationships remain visually entangled. A model like norm code separates saturation, hue, and luminance more clearly, making certain kinds of behavior easier to inspect. The chromaticity view is an XY plot based on the CIE 1931 standard observer. Set your primaries, overlay reference gamuts, and compare your image data against different working or delivery spaces. This gives you a way to inspect where values approach gamut boundaries and where they extend beyond them. Inspect the Planckin locus to trace the path of black body radiation, a useful visual reference when evaluating color temperature and balance. Navigating the 3D viewer is simple. Click and drag to orbit around the plot. To zoom in and out, use the scroll wheel, or click and drag with the right mouse button. You can also navigate with a Wacom tablet. Hold Alt or Option on Mac to constrain the rotation to the horizontal or vertical axis for more control. Middle click or hold Shift to pan the view. This moves the orbit center, making it easier to inspect any region from any angle. Hold R or Command on Mac to roll the viewer around the viewing axis. There are a few pre-baked angles for quick access. Control double-click aligns the view with a typical vectorscope orientation, while Shift double-click snaps between orthographic views, front, side, and top. Double-click resets the viewer. The most powerful way to use Chromospace is with 2 instances. Place the first at the start of your node tree, choose the Identity Plot tab, and switch to Identity Generator. This writes a structured set of identity RGB values into the image, encoding a dense sampling of the color volume at the chosen mapping resolution. Then place a second instance at the end of the node tree. Enable Read Identity Plot. Match the resolution to the first instance and open the 3D viewer. Chromospace now reads that identity map back as a 3-dimensional plot, so you can inspect how the full volume has been reshaped by any adjustment between the 2 nodes in real time. Enable Isolate Identity Data to remove all the other image content and view only the identity plot. This gives you a cleaner way to inspect gamut boundaries and study how your pipeline handles extreme values. It is also useful for inspecting LUTs. With the identity plot, you can see in 3D how a LUT shapes an image. Some adjustments can push values outside the boundaries of the color volume. Chromospace can show you exactly where. Enable Show Overflow, and any points that exceed the boundaries of your selected model will appear outside the volume. Highlight Overflow turns these out-of-bounds points to a bright red color, making potential problems hard to miss. To better understand the theoretical shape of a color model, enable Fill Volume. This fills the entire space with equidistant color points at your chosen resolution. Comparing the geometry of different models can be especially revealing. Watch as the same data reshapes itself as we switch from cube to HSL to roller. After drawing a gray ramp in your first plugin instance, enable Read Gray Ramp to track changes across the achromatic axis. If an adjustment bends this line, you can be sure that split toning or color cast has been applied. With a dense chaotic point cloud, it can be hard to see what matters. But with Volume Slice, you can cut away any areas obscuring your view and isolate only the regions you want to study. Select any combination of the typical 6 vectors to isolate those regions of the color volume. With Lasso Region, you can isolate any region directly within your image. First, enable the Effects Overlay mode in Resolves Viewer, then draw directly on your image to define a region of interest. Only the pixels within your selection will be sampled and plotted. Want to see where your flesh tones sit? Or perhaps the sky? Or maybe a color checker chart? You can. In Add mode, keep drawing to build up your selection and even sample multiple areas at once. Use Subtract by pressing Alt to refine a broader selection. Use the Undo and Reset buttons or press Shift-Click to return back to a clean slate. Volume Slice gives you a precise control over anything you want to analyze. The Settings tab lets you tune how the viewer looks and performs. Use Quality and Scale to balance plot density with improved playback performance. You can also adjust point size and shape to taste. Also try the different sampling methods. Chromospace is free or pay what you can, and it's yours to use on every project. Approach your look dev practice with more visibility and insight. Download Chromospace today.